She was one of those people everyone remembered. Warm, caring, the kind of teacher who made you feel like you mattered, even when life felt impossible. Her name was Mary Catherine Edwards. She lived in Beaumont, Texas, and at 31 she had a life full of promise. She spent her days teaching second graders, her evenings grading papers or planning lessons, and her weekends walking her beagle through quiet streets. Everyone in her neighborhood knew her, everyone trusted her, and then one winter evening in January of 1995, she didn't come home. Some stories sound impossible, the kind you'd expect to be exaggerated or completely made up, but every detail you're about to hear actually happened. No embellishment, no dramatization, just events that unfolded exactly as they did, even when they stopped making sense. This is unhinged, but true. Her parents, worried after hours of silence, went to check on her. What they found stopped them cold. Mary was dead in her own bathtub. Her hands were bound behind her back with handcuffs. She had been assaulted, and she had drowned. Here's what's weird. There was no forced entry, no broken windows, nothing to suggest a struggle outside the bathroom. The door to her home had been locked from the inside. How did someone get in? How did they know she'd be alone? And why leave no trace? The case went cold, for decades, but here's where it gets even stranger. Investigators had collected DNA from the scene, but it was 1995. The technology wasn't ready to identify a match, so they stored it. Years passed. Mary's friends and neighbors tried to move on, but the shadow of that night lingered. And the file, it just sat there, waiting. Then, 25 years later, everything changed. Forensic genetic genealogy had arrived. Investigators uploaded the old DNA sample into new databases, tracing it through distant relatives. Slowly, a family tree started to emerge, and then a name appeared: Clayton Bernard Foreman. Here's what makes this twist chilling. He wasn't a stranger. He had grown up in the same town as Mary. They had attended the same high school, and years before her murder, Mary had been a bridesmaid at his wedding. Think about that. Someone you once celebrated with, someone you trusted, someone who stood by you on one of the happiest days of your life would later take your life. Investigators collected Foreman's DNA from items he discarded in his Ohio home. The match was undeniable. After 26 years, the person responsible had been identified. He was arrested and extradited to Texas to face charges for a crime that had haunted a community for more than a generation. But the story doesn't stop there. It turns out Foreman had a disturbing fascination with handcuffs and restraints, and detectives discovered a pattern. Previous assaults he had committed mirrored aspects of Mary's murder. For decades, he had hidden in plain sight the life of a teacher, the life of a bridesmaid, a friendship that no one could suspect, and yet the trail was always there, waiting for technology to catch up. Even now, questions linger. How could someone she once knew harbor such darkness? Why Mary? Why then? And how many times do warning signs go unnoticed before tragedy strikes? Mary's family finally got answers, but DNA and arrests can't bring her back. They can't erase the night her life ended. They can't undo the trust that was broken, the innocence lost, or the fact that someone they once celebrated with could betray them so completely. This story isn't just about a cold case solved. It's about trust, betrayal, the secrets people hide, and the way the smallest piece of evidence, sitting quietly for decades, can reveal the truth in a way nothing else ever could. Mary Catherine Edwards got justice, but the echo of that night and the haunting realization of who ended her life will linger forever, and maybe that's what makes her story unforgettable. If you liked this story and would like to hear more unhinged but true stories, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. If there is a video you would like us to cover, please leave it in the comments below. Until next time.